Welcome, sports fans. What's going on, y'all? You are now officially tuned in live to the Sports Couple Perspective right here on iSports Radio. Your directory for all that sports. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I am joined here with my beautiful, wonderful, amazing Cecilia. Seven.
Hi.
And we're ready to rock and roll tonight. It's going to be a good one. This is going to be Cecilia's first night to lead the show. I'm just saying. I'm looking forward to it. As we talk, well, the first half, we're going to be talking some sports action. Last night, my goodness, can we get another hand clap, my beloved football? Oh, I've waited for this for so long. February was a long time ago. Yes, as we are ready to rock and roll with the rest of the season. What a game it was. Cowboys brought it. I must say I am very impressed without two key players. Very excited for the Cowboys this season. And then, of course, the defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Buccaneers, brought it, and they did it. 1-0 on the season, but Cowboy fans, never fear, you are going to, I think you're going to be a pretty solid team this year. So, with that said, second half of the show, beautiful fiance here will be taking over, and she'll be quizzing me, well, talking about and asking me about one of her favorite series that her awesome mother actually used to really like. She's got her into it, and I've never seen. I know, man card revoked, I'm sorry. But we're talking about The Godfather tonight in our, of course, now, the second week of every, it was actually the first week. We'll explain when we get to the show. But tonight is going to be Pop Culture Night as we talk a movie that is very awesome to follow. You are listening to the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome, sports fans. Well, with that said, it has definitely been a great week. Last week, sorry, I know we got a little bit late tonight. My apologies, but our apologies, but dinner took a little bit longer than expected. That's my fault. I'm sorry, but we are really excited for all these awesome things moving up into our lives at the moment. Super cool. We are now officially 1 month away from my beautiful fiance's birthday. Get a hand clap. That's funny, but you're not old. This woman is not old. She's beautiful. I mean, if she's old, then old is gorgeous. Okay, old is beautiful. So, just saying. And yes, I will hit on my soon-to-be wife on the show all I want to, okay? So, with that said, really excited, though, for tonight. So, as we said last week, we posted up a post. We tweeted earlier this week on our Twitter account. And if you haven't followed us yet, make sure to follow us at TSCP_IESR and show us some love. We tweeted this past week we tweeted. I'm getting a tweet up myself right now from this. Of course, I'll never tune in. But we tweeted this past week that we would be talking about a pop culture night, and it's going to be pretty fun. So a couple days ago, we tweeted, for the remainder of September, we'll be reviewing a pop culture movie in week 2, a sports movie in week 3, and then game night in week 4. However, the entirely new structure, including the surprise show in week 3, will start in October. Be ready! So, with that said, this is, of course, that was a second tweet. I'm an idiot because I didn't read the first one first. So the first one of that tweet is, Cecilia had a super cool idea for how each of our shows should work or should look each month. Starting in October, every first week will be a pop culture movie. Every second week will be a sports movie. The third week will be a surprise show. And the fourth will be a game night. So with that said, This month, of course, we're doing a little different. We had a premiere last week, had some fun, had to really, had fun, playing around, jumping in back into this, and we would, have fun talking sports last week. This week, we're going to treat this week as if it was the first week of the month. Next week is going to be the sports movie. We're going to skip the surprise night, and then the fourth week of September, we're going to have a game night. Then starting October, pop culture night will be the first Friday. The second Friday will be a sports movie we talk about. The third Friday will be a surprise theme, and then the fourth Friday will be game night, and that's how it's going to go until our next season. Of course, we'll let you know when the season will end and when we get back to it. Coming up for the next season. So with that said, y'all, tonight we're going to be talking a little bit of NFL, Thursday Night Football, the kickoff, and of course, Cecilia is playing her first season of fantasy football along with me. We drafted our team together in the IE Sports Radio Bowl 5. Needless to say, we had oh my goodness. Well, let me just go ahead and read that tweet from our Twitter. It's exciting reading our Twitter, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We have a Twitter. We have a Twitter, you guys. Man, do you like our Twitter? Do you like it?
Yeah.
That sounded so exciting.
Well, I'm still getting used to Twitter, so I don't know. I've never had Twitter before, so.
It's fun.
It's interesting.
It's fun. You had it once.
I didn't even use it. I was just seeing what it was all about, and I didn't even like it. So I deleted it. But now you're showing me the ropes.
You heard Twitter spell.
I know.
This is the cute little blue bird. You heard the little blue bird too.
Oh.
But we had drafted our team, and we're actually going to read this tweet here from our Twitter. It says, Cecilia is playing her first season of fantasy football along with me, in parentheses, Larry D, this year in IE Sports Radio Bowl 5. Play along with us, members of IE Sports Radio, or the IE Sports Radio family, and lots of IE Sports Radio listeners to win free IESR merch. We are the Metropolis Sharks. And then you have a cool little logo of our Metropolis Sharks that we got from Google, because Google's awesome. Babe, can you tell all these listeners how we came up with the name Metropolis Sharks for
like you thought of it.
I know, but why did I think of it?
It's because right now I'm on a binge watch of Smallville. It has to do with Superman. Well, him becoming Superman. And it's supposed to be about like in his teenage years to adulthood. So yeah, I've been watching it like almost every day because I haven't seen it before, and I love Superman, which is crazy for me because if I love him, then Superman. I should have seen these shows like while they were coming out, but yeah. At least I'm watching it now. It's pretty cool. And so Larry thought of, we're coming up with a whole bunch of funny names, and then he was like, oh my gosh, like, what if we call it, he's like, what is the Smallville's,
NFL team.
Yeah, NFL team, mascot. And then he looked it up, and he was like, oh, it's the Sharks. He was like, what if we do, the
Metropolis Sharks.
Metropolis Sharks.
She's a Superman fan, doesn't even know Metropolis. It's like a Batman fan not knowing Gotham.
No, I know it. It threw me off. Sorry.
Just kidding. Sorry. So, with that said, I was thinking, okay, cool. The high school name is lame. Like, seriously, they could have picked something better.
It's a high school, though.
No, but have you ever seen a red and gold crow?
No.
Thank you. The school is red and gold, and there's a freaking crow as a mascot. Like,
well, you can't do anything with black. That's why.
My high school was green and black. We looked pretty cool.
Yeah, you had a color in there, though.
They could have used, like, white and black.
No.
Black and white school?
No.
Okay, regardless, just saying, and some gray in there, like Raiders, like the Raiders.
Ew,
Black
no.
and gold. She said, ew. She does not like the Raiders jerseys, you guys.
No.
I'm, like, so hurt about this.
They're too plain.
What?
They're too plain.
Gosh, spoken as a true woman. So, with that, I'm going to get in trouble if I don't shut up. So, with that said, we drafted a pretty awesome team. Our quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, hopefully he has a good night coming up. We have our running backs, Mostert and Jacobs. Mostert from the Niners and Jacobs from the Raiders. Evans, which had a decent little night last night from the Buccaneers. Juju Smith-Schuster. Kyle Pitts at tight end, the rookie out of in Atlanta. We have a wide receiver or running back flex. We got Deebo Samuel of the Niners. Butker from the kicker. That's funny. I narrowed it down to 3 kickers, and she wanted to pick. Okay, you guys, the way Cecilia drafts is hilarious. Tell her.
What? I don't remember what.
I gave her a couple of different options to pick different positions, just to like kind of get her, to like get her into the groove of this. So she was picking the funniest name for every player.
It's not funny. It's just their names are obviously unique. Their last names are definitely something that, at least for me, I've never heard of. So, yeah.
She was like, "Oh my gosh, Butker, that's funny." I was like, "Oh my gosh." So yeah. So we chose Butker, and then we have the Rams defense. Our bench players are Fitzpatrick, Pollard from the Cowboys, Fitzmagic, of course. Moore from the Arizona Cardinals. The Chiefs defense is a backup. And ladies and gentlemen, I must be the stupidest person in this world. Because on the bench last night, we had Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski, who had a combined... This is sickening. I'm so freaking sad about this. Like, this really bothers me because of how dumb I am. They had a combined 52 points last night, just those two. And right now we're facing, of course, our boy who hosts the Soccer Scoreboard Show and the State of Ohio Sports, Andrew. And because right now we'd be winning 50 with those 5 points. We'd be winning 57-7 right now.
Dang.
But because genius me benched Brown and Gronkowski last night, we're losing 7-5.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get no bench points, y'all.
Maybe we can make it up later.
Let's hope. Let's hope some of these guys have a really good game this week, babe. So I'll be so mad if we lose like by a point. I'll be like, seriously? We had freaking 52 points just sitting on the bench this week. I'm so mad about this. So yeah, I'm gonna let her take over managing because I'm just terrible at managing in my hand.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't watch football. I mean, now I should, but I mean, I'm gonna try to pay attention as much as I can. But I'm not gonna know who they're gonna bench and who they're gonna play at that time. So I mean, yeah. I mean, this is my first time playing, so I don't know. I didn't really realize that it takes strategy a little bit to do what is it called? Fantasy football.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fun. So we're having some fun here. So with that said, babe, last night was the first ever game. I know you were watching it on and off with me. We're watching on Yahoo Sports. We're really excited, y'all. We're getting DirecTV and Sunday Ticket on Sunday. Really exciting. So we're getting it, and we'll be watching a lot of football this year. But last night, the 1,000-year-old quarterback looked like he was 21 all over again. What?
Quit calling him that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a thing of calling Tom Brady an older year every year with her, and it's pretty funny because she's like, he's not that old. I'm like, babe, he's 44. In football, that's like Yoda. He's like 800 years old. Like, he's just really old, but you can't take it from him. The guy keeps himself in great shape, and Tom Brady is an anomaly. This guy is 44 years old. He's like still the freaking greatest quarterback in the league. I mean, you saw him last night, but he looked good. He played very, very, very well. The Cowboys were pretty okay, though. Really good, really, really fun game to watch last night. We're not going to recap the entire thing, but final score 31-29. The Cowboys had the Buccaneers on the ropes all the way. At the end of the first quarter, it was 7-7. At halftime, Tampa Bay led 21-16. At the end of the third quarter, Tampa Bay led 28-26. And in that fourth quarter, the Cowboys did kick a field goal. They went up by 1 point. Oh my gosh, they had led, I think, 2 times previous to this. They led in the second quarter, and this is the second time they led in this game. A couple different league changes, and man, they had it. But with 2 seconds to go, Ryan Suckup will nail a 36-yard field goal, and there you have it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will go 1-0. So congratulations to them. Very good. Yeah. Yes. Very, very good for them. Great stuff. Brady threw for 379 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, he's amazing. The guy's amazing. So hats off to him, and just what a great job that was for him playing some ball. So with that said, we of course had some college football this past week, and I know we actually have some college football on tonight. Pretty cool. Some good games are going on. Right now, we have currently leading number 17 Coastal Carolina. This is what I really got to get Cecilia into is college ball, because college ball is where it's at. But of course, I'm playing semi-pro right now, so we're not going to be home for Saturday games really. We will, in the afternoons and everything. But college football is just where it is. But the reason why I always say that is because, and people will always be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cliche," but the heart really is in college football because no one's getting paid.
Yeah.
They're doing this because they're trying to get to the NFL. They're trying so hard. And I've always said it like this. And it's not always this case, but I've always said it. Okay, so here we go. Scenario. It's 4th and 2. Not even. It could be any down. And there's 2 seconds left on the clock. Quarterback snaps the ball. He drops back. Throws the ball up in the air. The wide receiver is sprinting down the field. He beats the DB. He beats the corner he's facing. And he dives into the end zone. The ball hits his fingertips, and it bounces off, and they lose the game. In college, the wide receiver lays there, just lays there. The other team is celebrating. That guy just lays there, and a lot of his teammates are running over. They just tell him it's all right. We got next week. You know what I mean? All that. In some cases, NFL receivers get up and be like, yeah, whatever, and I'm going to go drive my $1 million Bentley, go back to my mansion, I'm completely fine. Who cares? It's just a game, making money. Now, is that always the mentality? No. But it's really sad when that mentality does happen. So I always say that the heart, everyone, at least a lot of people I know, always say that the heart is in college football. So it's crazy. So number 17, Coastal Carolina, currently leading right now. Kansas, 49-22. Beat down, going down right now. Okay, I want to ask you this. So, okay. We're going to go over a tune-up game. I got to ask this question because it's football season. Okay, a tune-up game. Remember I explained to you before, babe, about the divisions in the NCAA in college? Mm-hmm. That you have Division III, where I played, which is like a joke, basically. It's like 4 more years of college football, of high school football. These guys are usually smaller, like myself, and you're playing, and it's kind of just for fun. There's no scholarships, nothing like that. You're just playing 3 more years. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Division II, comparable to the NAIA, which is the other governing body of colleges in the United States. There are partial scholarships. The competition is pretty solid, but it's still not super high. Then you have Division I AA, which is known as the FCS, or the bowl of the the conference or whatever they call it. I forgot what they call it, subdivision. But they have a playoff system, like a bracket at the end. But these are smaller schools, a little bit smaller schools, and they're still Division I. They still get a lot of talent. They have scholarships, but they're still not Division I Single A. And what Division I Single A is, they get the cream of the crop, the biggest athletes. Those are your UCLAs, USCs, the big schools, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Every year, usually the big schools have what you call tune-up games. Now, what are tune-up games? That is when the big school, okay, the big school, such as, let's just say Cal Berkeley, okay? Mm-hmm. They'll schedule, like UC Davis, which is an FCS, a smaller Division I AA. They'll schedule a AA team, and then they'll beat the crap out of them, like freaking 50 million. Like, you see scores. Like last week, we saw some scores when Taryn and I were on 3 and Out College Edition. And we're looking over some of these scores. There are some scores like 77-0 or 77 to like some of the They beat the crap out of these. But why do they do it? It's like a scrimmage. They play these.
They just get the practice.
They're basically practicing
their skills.
But how do they get the? But babe, have you ever thought? But think about this. Have you ever thought about those Division AA schools? Division I AA schools? Well, what's in it for them? They're getting the crap beat out of them. Money.
Oh.
Berkeley will say, "Hey, UC Davis, we see you guys up there. You're doing good things. How about we'll give you guys? How's $2 million sound? Is $2 million good? You like $2 million? Does that sound good? Yeah, $2 million sounds nice. Okay, want you to bring you and your Aggies on over to Memorial Stadium here at Cal Berkeley, and we're gonna beat up on you guys. But in return, we're giving you a $2 million check for your program, so you can build your program. What do you think? What would you do if you had a Division I AA school, and you're the AD, and you're like, yeah, well, how do those bigger schools make money? I mean, those bigger schools make all kinds of money, don't they? They recruit, and don't get me wrong. There's actually been some schools that started all the way in Division III and they move up to Division II, Division I AA, and they go to all the way to Division I. Schools grow and get bigger, and they become bigger, of course. But what would you do if a big school offered your little school all that money to go play them? You know they're probably going to get murdered, but hey, it is what it is. We're making money. What would you really say to that?
I'd probably say yeah, too. I mean, even though my team would get beat, but at least they're sharpening their skills, too. They're trying to work to, hopefully one day beat them, so...
Exactly. And it's every season. They'll pick different schools.
I think it's a low-key motivation for everyone.
It is. Because the big schools, like, hey, we got lots of money to spend, and we need practice. We don't have a preseason. The NFL has preseason to tune up their skills. It's colleges that have preseason. So we're going to play a couple smaller schools, maybe one or two in the beginning of the season. Sometimes it happens in the middle. It's weird. But usually in the beginning of the season, they'll have a couple of games, like right now. And they'll just beat the living crap out of these teams. But it's like, yep, we're going to sharpen our skills. And then they tell the other schools, I'm sure, hey, it's like what you said. Hey, UC Davis, come on. We're going to give you $2 million, and you get a chance to play Cal. You're going to play the actual Cal, Berkeley. And guess what? You guys might even beat us. If you play that hard, if you guys actually bring it, you're probably not, and we're going to probably destroy you. But hey, why not? And if you win, you get $2 million and you beat us. How you like that? So it happens. So last week was kind of funny. Kansas, the Jayhawks, they're a clear basketball school. 100% basketball school. They have one of the best basketball programs in the country. And then there was their football team, which hasn't been good for a very long time. Last week, I guess I want your take on this, because this is, I don't know, some of us thought it was ridiculous. Last week, Kansas, a big Division I school, but they're not very good, okay, will play South Dakota. South Dakota is a AA school. It came down to the very end because South Dakota was actually winning in the fourth quarter, 14-10 with 5:13 to go. Kansas will score a touchdown with 1:10 to go and go up 17-14. And on the last play of the game, after they won it, their fans stormed the field. Usually you get that after like a big win over if you're underrated, if you're an FCS school and beating a big school, that's awesome. Or if you're just like a lower school that wasn't ranked and you're playing against a ranked school, you beat them. Yeah, but babe, this is a big Division I school who should be beating the crap out of this South Dakota school. South Dakota brought it. Yes, Kansas won, but their students were storming the field as if they just won the national championship. What do you think? Do you think that's just good school pride for the Jayhawks, or do you think that's just kind of ridiculous that you guys are storming the field? You guys should, versus a team you should have beaten very easily, but you guys aren't that good, so I guess that makes sense. I guess you're not going to see very many victories this year, so take them while you get them. I mean, Raiders, just kidding, sorry. But I'm just saying, what do you think, babe? Do you think that's ridiculous, or do you think, hey, you know what? Let the kids have fun. Let them storm the field. It's a football game. They all enjoyed it. And then storming the field just basically means when they come out of the stands and go on the field and celebrate with their team. So, what do you think? Do you think it was too ridiculous that they did that, or, yeah?
No, I think that was fine and well worth it, I guess.
Okay, good opinion. Tara and I thought it was ridiculous, but you know what, though? It's okay. It's good stuff. No, good stuff. So right now, that same Kansas team is getting destroyed, 49-22 by number 17 Coastal Carolina on the road. Duke, a team much like Kansas, they're not very good at football, is beating NCANT 45-17, the same as everybody Kansas should have been beating South Dakota last week, sorry. But that's happening right now. And also Boise State is beating UTEP 31-13 right now in the second quarter. The other two games are in the fourth quarter. And then a game that just started, North Dakota is taking on Utah State. And North Dakota, I think they're actually a Division I AA school. They're actually winning right now. They're winning 14-7 in the first quarter. So big ups to them. Those are all the games going on here on Friday night. Hopefully you're enjoying them. There's lots of good high school football going along around here right now. So last week I thought it was pretty cool that we that we were talking about our schools last week. Cecilia didn't think it was very funny. I thought it was pretty cool. Of course, then again, she didn't really follow her school in high school, so I totally understand that. But I thought it was pretty cool. I did. No? When we were following our teams last week for football?
Oh, yeah, no.
Well, with that said, once again, Cecilia's Ramona Rams, because she of course, I was going to say she played there. She played there, you guys. No, she, of course,
Oh,
is
yeah.
where she graduated from. Right now, her Ramona Rams, actually. Hey,
What?
they played tonight. The Ramona Rams, ladies and gentlemen, just absolutely destroyed the Valley View Eagles, which is right where her sister, my soon-to-be sister-in-law, lives, right next to. Kind of funny. Ramona destroyed the Eagles 63-0, you guys. How about them Ramona Rams?
Cool.
63-0. They're now 2-0 on the season, and they're heading on over to play, let's see
I
here.
think they've gotten better because I think when I was going to high school, I don't think they were winning.
Well, they're looking good now. Oh, sorry, that was last week. This week is in progress, and they're beating the used-to-be powerhouse Citrus Hill over in Paris, California. Look at this. Halftime, Ramona's winning 42-0 right now.
Wow.
I like that. They're on their way to 3-0 right now. How's that? Check these Rams out. Congratulations to them. Speaking of Rams, I guess we live not too far. We're right here in good old Marietta, so we got to give big ups to some of our teams. We're not too far from the Marietta Rams, of course, the Marietta Mesa Rams, so we got to show them a little bit of love here on the schedule. As we see this week, they are currently playing right now on the road. They're 0-2. They're currently on the road versus Palm Desert, and they're down 21-16 in the second quarter. So go Rams, right? Hey, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
That's a team right here across the street, so good job to them. And then, of course, my beloved Paris Panthers, which, well, they're not the best high school team. We weren't that great. I mean, hey, we played hard when we were there, but definitely had a lot of things against us, a lot of odds against us for sure. And they've had some tough goes. I mentioned they won in week 1 versus Compton Centennial. Nice victory for them, and congratulations on that victory. 28-8 a couple weeks back. And then last week they lost to Desert Hot Springs 46-8. And right now they're currently in the second quarter, and they're losing to Cathedral City 28-6 at home.
That sucks.
So let's go Panthers. Hopefully we can turn this thing around. So a little bit of high school for us tonight. Have some fun. And there we have it. It's a little bit of our high schools and just our local areas and everything. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for a little bit of sports talk here tonight. We're going to take ourselves a short break. And when we get back, ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful fiancée Cecilia is going to be taking the lead of the show for the first time. It's going to be good. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Sports Couple Perspectives. Right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Harrison Glazer, and we're coming at you from the Show That Never Sleeps podcast. I cover the Jets, the Islanders, the Nets, and the Yankees.
This is Pierre Moss, and I cover the Mets, Knicks, Rangers, and the Giants.
Our show is live every Wednesday through Spreaker and a bunch of other ways to get our content. Again, we're the Show That Never Sleeps podcast. We talk about all those New York sports. It's a lot of fun. We get into all of it. Please tune in. Again, that's Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
And we look forward to having you guys right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Shores of the Puget Sound to the rushing waters of the Columbia River, stretching across the Great Cascades, and on IE Sports Radio lives the Northwest Territory Sports Show, hosted by me, Brad Buckingham. On this show, I cover all the great collegiate and professional sport teams that we have here in the Pacific Northwest. Of course, I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Mariners, Sounders, and even the Seattle Kraken. But I can't forget all of that is good in Oregon either. I got the Trailblazers, the Oregon Ducks, the Beavers, even the Timbers, and much, much more. You can listen to the show every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern, noon to 1 p.m. Pacific on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What is going on, everybody? This is Ben Metello, the host of the Yinza Report, right here on IE Sports Radio. I'm bringing you the latest in the Steel City, the City of Champions, from the Steelers, the Penguins, the Pirates, as well as the college game with both Penn State and Pitt. You could join me every Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on IE Sports Radio, where I'll be talking about everything from the Steel City, the City of Champions, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Oh yes! Great shows, along with plenty more great shows here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Make sure to catch, of course, the show that never sleeps, the Northwest Territory Sports Talk Show, of course, and the Yinza Report. All great shows, and you're, of course, listening to the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed, all that is sports. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, making her taking the lead debut here on the Sports Couple Perspectives, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, my beautiful, wonderful, amazing fiance, soon to be wife that I love with all my heart and soul, the beautiful Cecilia. Welcome, babe. Okay, wasn't that
Not
funny?
funny.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay, so Larry and I watched the Godfather trilogy a couple weeks ago. We watched them because he's never seen them, which is kind of funny because he's more of a mafia movie fan than I am. I mean, I like those movies, but I'm not, I guess, that seriously into them. But yeah, and obviously I only watched these movies because my mom, I think this was probably like the only mafia movie that she actually really liked. So I watched them and I fell in love with them as well. But I guess it was our way of bonding with each other and just, enjoying each other's company. And being able to share that with Larry is pretty cool too.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I thought it was really cool. Because, you know what, seriously, guys, what I like the most is that was a really neat thing. I had some really cool ways that I had some parental bonding moments and everything, tons of them. And it was just really cool because it was something that was, very near and dear to her, very special. And her mother, it's really, really, really awesome that, she shared this with her. And I just thought it was a really cool thing that she wanted to share this with me. And me, of course, never seeing them. I know, freaking crazy. Me never seeing The Godfather or Scarface. I know. I guess I've always seen Casino is like my cup of tea, as well as Pulp Fiction, those kind of movies. Or movies a few. I think I've seen Reservoir Dogs like once or twice. But regardless, just good stuff like that. But yes, I know, bad me, revoking my man card. I'm guessing you guys want to revoke my man card. Sorry. But now I have seen the trilogy. It is amazing. She actually has the box set too. She said her mom bought it, which is really, really, really cool. Has the little everything on it. Really, really, really neat. And the discs are cool. They have the pictures of the actors and everything on there. So we popped them in the good old PS3. That's right, I said it, PS3, and we enjoyed them. So sorry, but we just wanted to go a little further into that. But that was really, really neat.
Yeah, it was cool. And yeah, we had to use the PS3 because we don't have a DVD player. But it worked. Hey, it's our DVD / Larry's game play thing.
Yours is the Switch, you guys.
Yeah, I have the Switch.
She's an Animal Crossing fanatic.
Anyway, so yeah, so if you haven't seen it, I suggest you see it. But if you're going to continue listening, unfortunately, we will be giving spoilers. So yeah, just a little warning.
Warning.
But the first movie came out in 1972, and
They're fun. You don't like the sound effects? You don't like it? Uh-oh. Hey, get the phone. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so I think Google posted this, I'm assuming, so thanks to Google.
Thank you, Google.
But I'm going to give a little background, at least of the first movie, and it's called, my bad. Obviously, it's called The Godfather, but I meant the background of it is, it says, widely regarded as one of the greatest films of all time. This mob drama based on Mario, I think his last name is Puzo, novel of the same name, focuses on the powerful Italian-American crime family of Don Vito Corleone, played by Marlon Brando. When the Don's youngest son, Michael, played by Al Pacino, reluctantly joins the mafia, he becomes involved in the inevitable cycle of violence and betrayal. Although Michael tries to maintain a normal relationship with his wife, Kay, played by Diane Keaton, he is drawn deeper into the family business. And so the first movie is, it has Vito Corleone. He's the head of the family, and he, has his family involved in, I forget which is sad. I've only seen these movies only twice now, but I forget what they're involved in. I think it's just guns and
their business, gambling.
Yeah. Gambling, that's right. My bad. See?
And I forgot what else they were, but I know gambling was a major part of what they did.
I think that was probably really it then. I think it was just mainly gambling. But yeah, so he's Don Vito Corleone, or as throughout the movie they just call him Don Corleone. And I'm assuming Don just means, you're the head honcho, basically. You're the boss.
You're
the
king.
Yeah. Everyone has to come to you, basically, for any orders. But yeah, it shows him, throughout the movie, but it basically continues on is that Michael, who is the youngest out of 4, takes control of the family business because, unfortunately, his father's getting older and he can no longer have the power, basically. So he passes the baton, basically, over to Michael. Even though Michael didn't want it at first, he wanted nothing to do with the family business. He thought that it was, horrible, especially for him being in the military. He was in the Marines. And I guess the first movie takes place in World War II, which is what year? I forget the year.
World War II.
Which is horrible.
This is when the USA got involved in the 40s, but World War II really began in the mid-30s and lasted all the way until the mid-40s, and then I think we all know how it ended. So,
okay, yeah. I had to ask the historian.
Yeah,
since he got his bachelor's
in
that.
That's me.
But, yeah, so I guess it takes place around that time. And Sonny, who's the oldest, I think, was a little too hot-headed and really, he was basically the one second in line of taking over the family business, but unfortunately, okay, so Sonny, obviously the oldest, was going to take the throne, basically, but him being too hot-headed got him into trouble and unfortunately got him killed. So, forget, and they had Dawn. Sorry guys, I know I'm stuttering a lot. Don't mean to. I'm a little nervous. I don't know why.
She's doing great, you guys, right? Hey, can we show her some love? Hey, she's doing a great job. Great job, bro. Great job. You give it a point.
Oh. And then, sorry, hold on, I'm looking up the. So yeah, Sunny unfortunately dies, and then there's John. Oh no, that's not his name. That's the actor's name. Fredo Corleone. I don't remember what he does. I think he goes in a different route as well, but he's also involved in. I think he takes control over one of the casinos that they own in Las Vegas. And so he, I guess, didn't want control. And so with Al Pacino, what's his character's name? I'm forgetting. Michael Corleone decides, he was able to fit the part of taking over the family business since it seemed like the dad wanted it to continue. And I think with a situation like that, I think it's kind of hard to get the family out of, the mafia world, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't live that lifestyle. But, yeah, and I don't know how they all work. But, yeah. And so he ends up, unfortunately, taking control, even though, with his military background. But I guess it actually worked out. I think with him having the military background, he knew how to plan things strategically, and he knew how to, I think, control his, what would you call it, like moods or his temper, I guess?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think the way that he dealt with, the family business, I think it was a good thing in a way. I mean, kind of horrible. I don't agree with this stuff, but
babe.
But for the movie world, yes, he did a great job at ruling the family business and stuff like that. And then the other movies go into the same thing. It's just the second one, they just call it The Godfather Part 2 and then Godfather Part 3. But Godfather Part 2 is just, it's half and half. So it talks about, or it shows Vito, who is the father, about like how, where he was born and raised and how he ended up, because he was actually born in Sicily. There we go. Mm-hmm. In Sicily. And what happened with him is his father, I think, ended up on the wrong side of one of the mafias out there. And so the head honcho of the mafia out there in Sicily ended up killing his father and his brother. And then his mom tries to go and get revenge, but unfortunately she ends up dying as well. And then Vito Corleone somehow escapes, and then he ends up out here in, I think, New York.
Yes.
Yeah. He ends up in New York and gets involved with another mafia lord and ends up killing him, and then he became king. And then that's how he ended up being in charge of everything and getting his family, being on the top and everything like that. So it shows that part on, Don Vito Corleone. And then it also shows Michael on how he's more dealing with the family's business and everything like that, and everything like that. And then the last one, everybody contemplates. There's a pro and con, I guess, to the last movie. I think they would have been good with the first two as well. I still liked the third one, but I think that one was just more too political. It kind of gets me lost sometimes, especially since I've only watched it 2 times, and it's been way far apart since I've seen them. I didn't see them back to back or anything like that. So, yeah. So the last one was more just, of course, Michael, head honcho of the family, and of course they work with other mafia lords and trying to, kind of work together and still trying to like make each other equals, I guess. But the last one is more about Michael tries to get the family out of like that mafia world, but unfortunately it's like one thing after another keeps drawing him in and keeps drawing him in. So unfortunately he can't get the family out, and he passes. He's a little, well, not a little, he's a lot older in the last movie, and so he's kind of getting tired of fighting all these battles and, you know, taking power over everything, and so he ends up passing it down to, I think, his nephew, which is his older brother, who passed away in the first movie, his son to him at the end, and then, you know, it all goes, you know, he takes control and life goes on basically. But I mean, overall, I liked all the movies, and worth the watch, especially if you like those, you know, the mafia gangster movies and stuff like that. And I feel like with them, they did it, you know, much more classier, I guess. You know, like,
How so, babe?
Like with, I don't know if I should. Anyway, like I like the way that they dealt with things. Like they did it discreetly.
That's just how professional organized crimes.
And then they dressed. I love the way that they dress. They all don't dress so. They dressed like really nice and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Professional, I guess you would say, like in suits and stuff like that. They didn't like down dress or anything.
They're professional. And
like if you were to see them, sorry, I keep cutting off. Like if you were to see them like on the street or something, you would have never expected them to be part of that world at all.
And that's their goal. The mafia is very professional. They are taught to be very respectful. They are taught to be yes, though they're, you know, involved in crime, they're extremely, extremely professional people who, it's a business. And they deal with business just as any business would deal with their business, except for they know their business is on the wrong side of the law. Regardless, they're still professional. And they don't just go off and do dumb things. You know, they're very organized, and they don't want to bring no heat to them. They just want to make sure that they can make their money, just like everyone else makes their money. Of course, the way they make it isn't the right way, but they know that. But they're just trying to be professional about it and protect just protect the family, if you will, and protect their territory, of course, and protect not letting anything bad happen to anyone, including jail time and anything like that. Like I said, they know they're on the wrong side of the law, but they deal with things so professionally, and I think that's something that is very, because I mean, of course, it's not something to be praised, you know. I mean, of course, on the wrong side of the law. However, with the way they do things, I think it's just impressive. They're just so professional about it, you know.
Yeah. The way that Michael just played that part, or taking that role on for his family or for his dad mainly, he did really well.
Now, you had a cool little tidbit of information of how Al Pacino even got the part. Can you explain this to the listeners then?
Oh, yeah. I was just about to say that, too. With the little collector's box thing, they have, like, what do you call them? Like,
the
special. Not special edition, but, yeah, they just have, like, cool, like, little information that you can watch about it. But in the first movie, Al Pacino actually, he was on the verge of, like, possibly not getting this role. But what really got them and what really made them decide to, you know, oh, he's perfect for this role after all, is in, like I said, it was in the first movie, the first Godfather. There's a scene where he's seeking revenge for his father for some reason. I think because because I forget the other character's name.
Tagliati's?
I don't remember. But they were bringing it up to Don Vito Corleone that they want to go in business with drugs. And, you know, Vito Corleone was hearing them out and seeing what they had to say about, you know, drugs and stuff like that. And then after a while, he, you know, sat there debating. And then after all, he's like, you know what? No, like, I don't want to, you know, be part of that world of dealing with drugs. He's like, because when drugs get involved, he's like, unfortunately, everyone's going to want to sell it to kids. You know, they're going to, you know, want to go to high schoolers and stuff like that. And he's like, I don't like that. he was like, so he turned them down, I would say as nicely as possible, you know, saying, I mean, granted that, you know, him being a head honcho and everything like that, like the Don. So I think they were, already as it is, his health was already going downhill. So yeah. And I think he ended up having a heart attack or something like that. And he was in the hospital. And so those people who were asking Don Corleone if, you know, they wanted to go into business together, he turned them down. And when he did, they're like, fine, like, you don't want to go in business with us? We're going to try to take your life. So Michael goes to the hospital and he notices, like, no one's there, not even, like, other patients or nurses or doctors or anything like that, except for one nurse, I think. And he ends up moving his father to a different room, and then he sees the people who was after them. He brings it to, after that night and that scene, Michael brings it to, you know, his other family members who he confides in, and they're like, you know, what should we do, kind of thing. And so he confides in them, and they say, you know, we have to take their life, basically, because if we don't, they're just going to keep continuing to go after Don Corleone until, you know, he's finally dead, basically. And so, so that one scene, they decide to meet at a restaurant. They agreed to meet with Michael Corleone, which is Vito Corleone's son, and they go to a restaurant where the other guys, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting their character's name. I wish I knew it. I'll try to look it up and see. I don't think I could find it. I should have looked it up before, sorry. So they go to the restaurant, and he's meeting with two guys, Michael is, and it's the restaurant that the other two guys go to probably on a regular basis. And so they know that they couldn't, they knew that Michael couldn't, like, carry a gun on him per se. So they said, well, it's perfect. We can go, like, the night before to that restaurant. They would never suspect it because they trust the restaurant. And we'll hide a gun in the bathroom. So excuse yourself and say you have to go to the bathroom, but don't take too long because then obviously they'll suspect something. So, you know, he meets with them, talks with them for a little bit, and then he ends up going to the bathroom and, you know, getting the gun, and then sure enough, he sits back down like nothing. I thought he was gonna, when I first saw it, I thought he was gonna do it like right off the bat, but no, he waits. He talks to them for a little bit, and then the next thing you know, boom, boom, and he gets them, and then they tell him, you know, don't take the gun with you, leave the gun there at the scene. They can't trace anything to you, so you should be fine. So he drops the gun, and then he takes off. And for some reason, that scene, it just took them away with it, and Michael Corleone, what's his name? Al Pacino got the part, like, for sure.
And that's absolutely amazing, because what I love the most is the fact that it's funny to think he would have went out there and just done it, but what I think really the reason why they would give him that part too, based on that scene, if you're going to go there and talk about that, I don't know if the actual reason was released of why, but if you really think about it, babe, it's true, he hesitated. And then he just and then he just did it. You know,
I don't think he hesitated. I think he wanted to make it as normal as possible so that they don't suspect anything.
He hesitated it. Had he have gone out there and just started firing, that's the way he was supposed to do it. He's never done this before. This is his first time taking someone's life outside of the military, I guess, because maybe he did or did not. Apparently he was a decorated Marine, so maybe he took some lives, I don't know. But it was all in fighting for the country. This is the first time he's doing it. Don't get me wrong, the reason was, of course, because, they tried to kill his dad. But at the same exact time, this is his first time doing this. He was even nervous. Remember them building him up and everything? Like, he was nervous about the whole bit, but he did it. Mm-hmm. He did it. They even did, remember they tried to lose the car behind them and everything? Like, on the way to the restaurant and everything? I'm just saying, this was something that they didn't expect, and I just feel like this really, really captures the essence of somebody doing this for the very first time. Now, I mean, he turns into a cold-blooded killer, of course, but, well, I mean, he goes into the back and he hesitates. Mm-hmm. He goes to the bathroom and everything. And then he just says, screw it, boom, boom, and does it. Mm-hmm. And then he drops the gun, like Kelly told him to, and walks right out. That's crazy, but I don't know, that's my 2 bits. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I mean, yeah, I think that could be a possible chance. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we would never know. Unless, if that character really existed, we could, ask that character, but he doesn't, true. So.
Very true. Very true.
And then he had to end up going into hiding for a little bit, too, because I think, obviously, the government, not the government, but the police, well, they are part of government, but, yeah, mm-hmm. the police and detectives, I guess, would go after the Corleone family since they are, a mafia family. And
don't forget about the Daglia family. They would have went after him, too, immediately. Yeah. So my apologies earlier. I don't know what I said, but that's the name I meant to say. The Daglia, the team, the
mafia.
The family,
other mafia.
The family involved. So interesting stuff here. But yeah, I guess what a very cool way to get the part, But yeah, as you can see, Cecilia explains this movie so well. There's just some parts I'm still kind of like, okay, kind of tripping on, trying to remember. But she's got this down so well. But yeah, really, really, really cool movie. So yeah, continue on with your.
I mean, that's really it. There's really not much to say about them. I mean, other than they're almost freaking 3 hours. So we can watch them all in one day or night because they're way too long. They're really good movies, but way too long. So we would watch one like every night kind of thing until we're finally done. I mean, it's only 3, but yeah. So what did you think about the movie since you finally got to see them? We've been talking about these movies for a while too. We started watching them a while back, I think sometime last year, but I was in school at that time, so it was kind of hard. So we watched like the first one, and then we watched the second one, but we only got to half of the movie, and then unfortunately we couldn't watch them. But now, since we're living together and I'm not in school,
I am.
Well, you are. But we did this before you started school.
I know. You'll be there too pretty soon next year.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, so we were able to have more time to watch them and everything like that. So what did you think of them? How did you like the characters, not the actors? Well, I mean, the actors, obviously. I don't think these movies would have been all that... I mean, I don't know. But knowing that Al Pacino, he did a really good... I would have to say he did really well.
He really did. Everybody did. It just seems like everybody...
No, yeah, everybody did.
Everybody who they casted for those movies, they fit the part so perfectly. Like, they're legendary, and I think because of the fact that they did so well bringing this together. So, Mario Puzo, right? The director?
Yeah, Mario Puzo. I don't know how you say his last name.
Let's take a look here. Good old Google magic. But yeah, he definitely did a great job. Puzo, yeah, Mario Puzo. Amazing job by him.
Oh no, the director, I'm sorry, is Francis Ford
Coppola.
My bad.
Coppola. But apparently it was a story by Mario Puzo.
Yeah, there we go.
So Coppola will be the director. And I guess they did an amazing job. He did an amazing job. Because casting, I don't know if it was him or whoever else helped or whatever, but I'm just saying, he did an amazing job. This was a very good very good trilogy. The third one, I don't know, we read about it, because I remember seeing this one time, reading about this, and seeing that some people didn't like the third movie. Some people didn't like it at all. Some people thought it was just really kind of stupid, and that it didn't belong, and that it was just uncalled for. And if you take a look at the movies, yeah, one was made in, 72, 73?
The third one?
No, the first two. The first two they were 2 years apart in the early 70s.
Well, the first one was 1972.
And the second one was 74 then.
Had to be.
Yeah, the second one had to be, I believe, had to have been. The first one was 72, so the first one was 74. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Right?
The
74.
second one was 74.
So they were within a couple years of each other. They must have started, after the first one, they must have started filming. And the other one was 1990, you guys.
Yeah.
There was like a freaking huge gap, you know? I mean, a very, very large gap. And some people said it, like it didn't even belong. Like it was a movie that was just kind of like, why is this even here? You know? So there was just a big thing that was, I think I remember one time I read it somewhere, I don't know, but I was just curious about it, and then I ran across it on YouTube. I remember seeing the last scene. It's kind of funny because there's a few scenes that I actually knew from the movie, and so he was like, "How do you know that?" I remember one time just like watching. I remember I was bored at home like years ago, and I was like on the TV guide thing on DirecTV, and I just happened to see The Godfather 2, and I clicked on it, and it was the part where Robert De Niro, as young Vito Corleone, stabs the old Godfather or whatever in Italy, and he sticks him and takes the knife across his stomach. I thought it was in a balcony and something. I don't know. I thought it was this years ago. I don't know why I saw it differently, but whatever. That's what happened there. And I was like, oh yeah. She's like, how did you know that? I was like, I just saw that one part. And then the very ending, I went to the final scene of the last one to see how it ended, because why not? Spoiler alert. I didn't think I'd ever actually watch them. And yeah, that's when unfortunately the daughter gets killed.
Michael Corleone's daughter.
Michael Corleone's daughter, and the third one was disturbing because of the incest. The third one.
I wasn't gonna go there, but yes, that was weird. And kind of gross. Not kind of. It was gross. But anyway, that's beside the point.
I didn't really. Yeah, but regardless, it's part of the story. But regardless, I just feel that all of them were all directed very well, and they were just, it was a cool story. The third one, I remember reading a little bit before, because I brought it up that some people didn't like it, and so he was like, no way, and I was like, yeah, so we started to like read online and everything about it, and yeah, some people had said, for true Godfather fans, like 100% diehard Godfather fans, that just want like the whole story and get closure is the big word everyone used, for like all of the series, like all of the trilogy, of course, all of it. Then the third one is necessary to watch, because you're going to get answers, and you get Michael Corleone confessing to a priest in the Vatican that he killed Fredo, his own brother. That he did it, and he just had some things to confess. And I thought that was, there was a lot there that happened at the end. His daughter gets killed. And it's incredible. Like how you can see the torch was clearly passed, and that was his nephew, right? That took over.
Yes.
Basically, as a new Godfather. What was his name?
I don't remember that one either.
Yeah, that was Andy Garcia, right?
Yes, Andy Garcia.
And he
played Vincent Mancini.
Mancini.
My bad. Sorry, I forget it's the Italian accent.
It's okay. I think maybe they might pronounce it Mancini, but I thought it was Mancini. And then double C, I think is a bit of that. But regardless, guess what? Performance by Andy Garcia. He really sold that part. Like you could tell, he's a very sick and twisted person. He was ready for it, and it's just like he wanted to inherit it. And that's what's her name's son, right? The sister?
No, that was Sonny's son. Sonny's
son. And my goodness, did he take Sonny's like? He took it and ran.
I think, he's hot-headed, but I feel like he also has that, not calmness about him, but he knows how to think things through too, though.
He does.
Yeah.
And I think personally, you guys, it's exciting to see the next parts of every movie. It really is. Star Wars, another thing that I never really watched. I've seen a few of the movies, but I'm never really into it. But I can, get into it and tell why it's really cool. Not to go off track here, but at CVU, shout out to Professor Blinko, really cool. Or Blinko, sorry. He used to teach a Star Wars class at CVU. I don't know if he still does. It's a couple years back, but it's really cool. He was telling us one day about it that, there's a lot of religion. There's a lot of all kinds of stuff. There's Buddhism in Star Wars. There's a lot of really crazy stuff that they brought in. And it's insane because that's why I think a lot of people are drawn. They want a good story. People want a good story. And that's cool. I know Cecilia is a big fan of The Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care. about it. But
I'll be making him watch those too.
She'll be making me watch those too. And, it's just, once again, it's the same way she can feel about sports and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I just feel like, okay, cool. But then again, if you think about it, we're all chasing a story, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
I love sports, but why? There's so much story in sports. When we watch games or tennis matches or football games, soccer matches, tennis matches, rugby matches, basketball games, hockey games, baseball games, basketball games, when we watch any sport, we're watching history unfold right before our eyes. We got to see Kobe's story, a young man that came out of Lower Merion High School, okay? This young man came out of high school. He was the son of a basketball player who played overseas. And wouldn't you know it, this young man grew up being a basketball player. As a matter of fact, I forgot, was his father military or I think a basketball player? But regardless, my apologies, you guys, for not knowing. One of my favorite players right there, I'm sorry. But regardless, this young man would grow up in Italy, speaking full-on Italian, go to Lower Merion High School, become an amazing talent, get drafted out of high school to the NBA by the Charlotte Hornets, get traded to the Lakers, and then the rest is history. We got to watch Kobe's history right before our eyes, and I got to see a huge part of that. I remember like the 96 stuff. I remember seeing the 3-peat in the early years of my father, may he rest in everlasting peace, and all the way up until his final game where he dropped 60, and unfortunately up to just 2 years ago when he would tragically pass, and his daughter. May they rest in everlasting peace, and everybody in that helicopter. But, we got, and that's a sad end of that story, because I would have loved to have seen Kobe go on and do all kinds of awesome things, but we got a story. We got a story with Michael Jordan and with the Last Dance. Like, that was a really cool story. And now look at Michael Jordan, doing his thing, and we're getting to see LeBron do his story. Tom Brady with his story. Ladies and gentlemen, when Tom Brady entered the NFL in 2001, I was in the freaking 7th grade, you guys. Going into the 7th grade, 6th grade, and 7th grade. Yeah, I'm 32 now, and he's still playing. Do you see what I mean? I'm a bachelor's in. I have a master's already, and I'm working on my second master's along with a credential. This man started playing football when I was not even in middle school or going into middle school. This is insane. Of course, over here, at least in our district, where middle school was only 7th and 8th, and 6th is part of elementary. But regardless, I'm just saying it's crazy to think. So we love a good story. So I think that's why I know others like that aren't really the biggest sports fans like Cecilia still enjoy good stories, that we sports fans enjoy stories a little bit differently. So with the Lord of the Rings, with the Godfather, with stuff like this is cool. Star Wars, it's just you get to see the story unfold. There's just different ways we enjoy the stories. So I really think that's a really cool thing. And I'm glad that we get to do this pop culture night because we get to really go into these stories, which is really, really cool. So I definitely...
And I get to take control. I'm just kidding.
Which is pretty cool. I like it, right? She did a great job tonight, you guys. I really loved it.
I stuttered and said a lot.
It's fine.
I don't have that radio voice.
Yeah, she does. She does it really, really good. I like it. She does really, really well. She did good. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, did she not do good tonight? But thank you. Thank you, yes.
Don't lie.
Yes. She did an amazing. She was the other applause right over that way. Good job, baby. Good job. You did an amazing job tonight. And I'm very proud of you. You did a wonderful job. You went over that whole big guy and all the kids. She pays better attention than I do, too. I try. My memory kind of sucks sometimes with certain things, but I try to get into The Godfather, really, but then it's kind of hard for me to follow some points and everything. I don't know. I'm weird. I don't have that story mind, I guess. I don't know, but she really has it. This woman reads books for fun. Maybe some of you do too, but I'm like, no, I just rather watch the movie and be like, yeah. Of course, she's like a billion people out there that are like, the books are better.
They are. That's because they can go into more detail. And I know that's a cliche saying, but it's the truth because they really can. There's a lot of things that movies can't do because, one, they would take forever, like the Lord of the Rings. Well, that one too. Those are like almost 3 hours too, and The Godfather. So, yeah. They would be really long. But even then, I'm pretty sure those movies, missed a lot of, not important stuff, but, little details, I guess you would say.
They did, and I'm sure they did. But overall, I know. Sorry, I just go to different sidetracks and all these different little sidebars. Sorry, but yeah, baby, I really enjoyed The Godfather. I'm so glad that. But I'm glad because the first time I got to see it was with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cool part about it. I it's a special thing when you get those firsts with your significant other. It's amazing, and we've done a lot of awesome things together for the first time. And I'm glad that we were able to do this now too. We were able to enjoy a really good, cool movie. At least I myself, for the first time, she got to see us for the second time. Usually, of course, first are awesome too. But even when I'm showing her stuff or music or like whatever we're doing or sports or whatever, it's cool because it's the same thing. Maybe it's something I've been doing, but it's a first with her. So it's just a really cool thing, really cool experience. And I'm glad that we're able to bring this dynamic to the show. So overall, The Godfather was amazing. I gave it an A+. I think that was absolutely incredibly directed.
You give it overall A+?
All of them, yes.
All of them?
All of them. Because though people didn't like the third one, I actually did. It was way too political, as Cecilia and I were talking about before we started the show. Just kind of throwing that in there. It was just a lot that was just like, so much. And it didn't necessarily taint the first two.
No.
It gave the rest of the story, but I can see where other fans of The Godfather were like, you know what, just leave it be. You didn't need the third one. We understand that Michael took over and let your imagination take over and do the rest. You didn't necessarily need that third one. But at the same exact time, who cares? We got the third one and it was really cool.
I kind of liked it too, though, because I was thinking about it right now too, that Michael Corleone was trying to get the family out of that business, and I think because he had two kids, and obviously he did not want them to go into that lifestyle. He wanted something different, in which they did. His son became, I think, an opera singer. And then his daughter, like we said, unfortunately, she ended up dying because she was kind of in that world, but not really. But yeah, so he wanted more for his family, and he was trying to get his family out of the business. But unfortunately, like I said, he, it was just one thing after another that kept drawing him in. So I thought that was pretty cool because I think the older he got, I think he realized, like, wow, like this lifestyle is really not what it's cracked up to be. And I think all of, I guess you would call his sins, I think eventually just got to him and was slowly but surely eating him up, because knowing that from the very beginning he didn't want to be in this lifestyle, but at the same time it's like someone had to take control over the family business, or else someone would come after them and just basically kill all of them. And I don't know if that would be true or not, but it felt that way, I guess. Someone always has to be the top dog, I guess.
Yeah, and he took over the family business, and he just felt that it was his job now, and he got involved, unfortunately. He even says it in the third one that he kind of wishes he wouldn't have done that, right? He has like some kind of like regret, I guess, in there somewhere, where he says if he could do it over, he wouldn't, or something like that, like in a sense, or I forgot. He says something like that in the third one, but regardless, Al Pacino plays just a great role in all of them. You see just how well he did, and he finished off the trilogy really well because he passes the torch on over to Vincent, and then that's it. Now could they have made a fourth one and seen how Vincent goes on? Of course, this unfortunately is just sadly, and I guess for the people who were involved in it, it is what it is. You guys do what you do. And that's completely fine. But once again, that life isn't for everybody. And I think later on, Al Pacino gets all like, no, because I don't want this to continue. It's a lot of crimes, a lot of bad things. People die, a lot of us die, and he just probably felt that it just wasn't the best. But he saw Sonny's son, Vincent, just have that same fire. And there was that part where he just basically retired, I guess, and passed the crown. Mm-hmm. Right, and that's it. It was all. They kissed his hands. He was just ready.
And he was the new Don.
And it just continues. So overall, it was an A+. Absolutely. I got it. Where's that applause button? One more time. The Godfather trilogy was amazing. Definitely enjoyed all of it, and just lots and lots of just amazing stuff. So thank you both for sharing this to me. That was amazing. And I really enjoyed it. I really did, and I thought it was wonderful. So, I thought that was pretty neat. And
highly recommend watching these movies.
Absolutely. So I know tonight there's a lot of spoiler alerts, so sorry if we... But even then, even if you listen to it tonight and you've never seen The Godfather, watch it for yourself.
Yeah, because obviously we didn't explain everything. So, I mean, there's much more to these movies than what we said. So
Absolutely. It is awesome, and we really enjoyed it. And we enjoyed bringing the show to you tonight. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Pop Culture Night, our very first one.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
But also nerve-wracking.
It's okay.
I'll get better, I promise.
She's going to get better. So, babe, our next Pop Culture Night, let's go and take a look here. We're currently on the second week of September, of course, as we told you. Last week was the premiere. This week will be Pop Culture Night. Next week will be a sports movie. And the 24th will be Game Night. Now, moving forward, in October, Pop Culture Night will return on October 1st.
Yeah,
August.
in August.
Man, August. Wow. Pop Culture will return on October 1st. Sports movie will return. Actually, make an announcement here. Cecilia's birthday is actually 4 weeks from today. Happy birthday, babe! 4 weeks away! Hey, it's never too early for happy birthday. But we are trying to plan a getaway with something family as well. We just try to do our thing. So we may or may not be on her birthday, depending on how things go. Right now it's looking like we're definitely not, but we will make up for it either doing a show, because Cecilia's birthday is on the 8th of October, which is a Friday, so if we are out of town or doing something special that night, we will keep you in the loop and let you know if we're going to go on early that week, because we definitely will do a show, but we'll go on early that week, or we'll go on different times, or whatever, different day, but that will be the sports movie. The week after will be a surprise week. We'll have a surprise theme every month. There's something different we're going to throw around and have some fun with. And then the 22nd will be game night. 1, 2, 3. And that's actually a 5th Friday in October.
Maybe we'll do another pop one.
So, well, the next pop culture one's going to be
pop,
the 5th.
I said pulp. Oops.
Pulp Fiction. Oh, that's a good movie. The 5th of November will be. So, well, I don't know. We might actually throw another. I think it'd be fun to do two specials next month. 2 surprise type themes next month. What do you think?
Maybe.
Pretty fun. Maybe we'll see. But but other than that, or we might have 2 pop cultures. Or it just might work out like this, where we can actually just take the week off, since there's 4 weeks. We can take the week off for Cecilia's birthday, and then act like nothing ever happened after that. Well, not nothing ever happened, but we can actually do Pop Culture Night on the 1st, take the week off for her birthday the next week, and then continue on with the movie night, with a sports movie night on the 15th, with a surprise night on the 22nd, and then on the 29th, my late grandmother's birthday, may she rest in everlasting peace, on her birthday, on the 29th, we'll do a game night. So it could work out anyway.
Yes, we'll just have to see.
We'll just have to see. So with that said, y'all, this has been so much fun, and we've been so blessed with so many things. So as always, y'all, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's right, for with Him, nothing is possible. And of course, all you listeners out there, nothing is possible. Nothing is radio is not possible. So we appreciate you all so very much, and we just want to say thanks again for being a part of our show here tonight. And with that said, y'all, you know what time it is. It's time to cue the music, because we're out of here. All right, y'all. That is going to do it for tonight's show. It was a fun one. Definitely enjoyed the heck out of that. Talking some Godfather. Talking about some sports. A little bit of football in there. College football. We're just getting started. And of course, some NFL. A little bit of high school in there from our high school. The area we're in right now. So big up to all those teams and everybody. And that's it. We will continue on next week. Looking forward to a sports movie night. Hey, do you have any thought of sports week? I'm sorry, of the pop culture movie for next month? No.
I'll be thinking about it.
Well, we shall see. So I know she'll be thinking about that. I got to think of a sports movie for next week. Oh no, it's my turn next week. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, what did y'all think of Cecilia's first time taking over the show? That's what I thought too, y'all. Thank you so very much. This has been a great night. We're going to rock and roll next week. Having fun here on the Sports Couple Perspectives. We are the Sports Couple. We appreciate you so very much. Make sure to give us a follow on Twitter. Make our Twitter grow, you guys, at TSCP_ Once again, that's at SCE_IESR. Give us all a follow at IE Sports Radio, at IE Sports Radio. Of course, give us a like on Facebook at IE Sports Radio. We certainly like that. Give us a follow on Instagram as well at IE Sports Radio. And make sure you check us out there. Big ups to our sponsors, of course, the SoCal Warriors. So tomorrow, actually, we're going to take it on the Inland Empire Kings. You excited for that game tomorrow night, babe?
Yeah. I can't wait to see another game.
It's going to be fun. I was out for 2 weeks with an injury, and then we had a 5-week last week. So week 5 of the season is getting ready in the PCFC, and I'm really excited to get back in action tomorrow and take on a very good Kings team. Let's go Warriors. Also, big ups to our sponsors. We'll give, of course, the Warriors a follow at SoCal Warriors on Twitter, at Southern California _Warriors on Instagram, and at Southern California Warriors on Facebook. And of course, our other sponsors, Background Check International. Check out Background Check International, CIN.com. I believe our boy Kit, great stuff. And go make sure to check him out. Of course, we don't think of anything illegal with background checks. It's all professional use, so make sure you check him out. Look up some backgrounds, of course, for your future employees. Make sure to reach out to Kit Brennan, great guy. And always just place to talk to. He's become a really different look. So with that said, make sure to check them out, or check out the website at www.ciin.com. Of course, check us out here at iesportsradio.com. With that said, babe, is there anything else you want to say here tonight before we're out of here?
Thank you for listening. Hope you have fun. And take care, be safe.
Exactly what she said, y'all. With that said, we will see you next week. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.